hello guys, see you again with QINIMA Sports. As we know, both Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier are among the best fighters of all time in the UFC heavyweight division. This status was further confirmed by the epic Trilogy fight at UFC 252, which was held on August 15, 2020. The end of the battle was a victory for Stipe Miocic in their Trilogy fight. But what is the history of their battle to the birth of a rivalry between them? Before we continue, don't forget to press the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss the latest updates from QINIMA Sports. Miocic vs. Cormier 1. This is the first fight that will give birth to the next two incredible fights. They met for the first time at UFC 226, which took place in July 2018. In the beginning, Miocic performed well with his clinch, while Cormier advanced with a jab, and when Miocic came out of the clinch, Cormier released the underhook. Miocic's clinch technique at the beginning of the round is fairly good, but it always ends with a hook by Cormier. Within 3 minutes of a smooth fight, the fight had to be paused because a finger landed on Stipe Miocic's left eye. When the fight restarted, Miocic was still using his 1-2 punch, while Daniel Cormier was still using the underhook, until finally a perfect right punch landed on Stipe Miocic's face while he was in a clinch. The fight was immediately stopped with a victory over Daniel Cormier in the first round via technical knockout. From this fight, Daniel Cormier also needed some time off because the right hook that won the fight also broke his hand.
Line moving all over the place, Dominic. But Daniel... heavyweight champion!
Heavyweight champion. He went through murderer's row to get that belt.
Miocic vs. Cormier 2. UFC 241 is the event for these two fighters to meet inside the fence. Many fans are debating who is the best heavyweight fighter in MMA history. Some think Daniel Cormier, and some think Stipe Miocic is the best heavyweight fighter. Although some also have another opinion, that it is Cain Velasquez who deserves to hold the crown. Regardless of all that, this fight will be a legitimate determinant of who has the right to occupy the throne in heavyweight. Everyone knew that Cormier was a special fighter, even since he was still in Strikeforce. On the other hand, Miocic came to the UFC with a 6-0 record and won his first 3 fights in the UFC.
17th at the Honda California, and one of the year's most anticipated matchups for so many reasons. Miocic, and his looking to show the world that...
In the fight, Cormier managed to hit Miocic and lift this heavy man early in the round. Cormier also had success with ground and pound, with Miocic continuing to try to get out of Cormier. The next round was still the same as before, where Cormier used his speed to overwhelm Miocic. But over time, Cormier's speed began to decrease, where the fatigue was more visible in the third round. On the other hand, Miocic started to succeed with hand combat as well as out of the clinch. In the fourth round, Miocic managed to land a left hook into Cormier's body and managed to injure him. Miocic started using the left hook to check Cormier's condition, and sure enough, Miocic managed to finish the fight in the fourth round via technical knockout.
He's hurt! He is down!
Oh, that's it!
Stipe
tank, and then Stipe poured it on.
His first heavyweight loss after 15 wins.
That took everything away, and then that was the end. And up until that, on the scorecards,
but those body shots just...
Two rounds, I'm still gonna win the fight.
I don't know. I mean, you just said it right there. I'm not good enough. I'm a good fighter, but not.
Miocic versus Cormier 3. This is the end of their fight, where Cormier will close his career, even though in the fight he will lose or win. They met at UFC 252 in August 2020, at the place where Cormier was leaning against the fence and exhausted in his second fight before. Everyone knows that the winner of this fight is Stipe Miocic, who has an absolute victory over Daniel Cormier and retains his belt, as well as leading 2-1 in their 3 meetings. Miocic was surprisingly able to take down Daniel Cormier through several attempts throughout the fight. Although these attempts failed to bring Cormier down, they did tire him out and give him a chance to strike a punch. Unfortunately, eye poke colored the game for the umpteenth time in their meeting. In the fight, Cormier stabbed Miocic in the eye early in the match, while Miocic landed one hand in the middle of the match, which left Cormier's one eye not functioning properly for the remainder of the fight. But in my personal opinion, the outcome of the fight will probably be the same, even though there are poke eyes that color the fight. Stipe Miocic has once again established himself as the greatest UFC heavyweight champion in history, and at the same time a paramedic in a fire department that is loved by many. And despite losing, Daniel Cormier reiterated once again that this would be his last fight. And even though he lost, he was a former champ, or the holder of 2 belts at the same time as Conor McGregor did, or just one of the many fighters in the UFC. So that's, guys, the biggest heavyweight trilogy duel in the UFC, between Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic. Please share your opinion in the comments column. Don't forget to like and share the video if you like it. Sorry if there are mistakes, and see you in another video.